Yes. Right now, I didn't get the time to see for this, but I'll do because we have so many days left. Don't worry about this. I'm going to see how I actually have performed mass update action, right? All right. Let me now start with the next thing, and that is a permission set. Now, what does it means by a permission set? See, I try to quickly describe you one thing. We understood one thing about like, and at the top, it is always a license. At the top, it is always a license. I mean, the kind of functionality, what a user is going to be get, the features, whatever. First of all, it depends on what kind of license is holding. Let's consider we created a user who is having a Salesforce license. All right. Let's consider we created a user who is having a Salesforce license. Now, if somebody would have a Salesforce license, it actually means what? He can access all of the standard and all of the custom functionalities. So in the top level, the first at the topmost, this is always a license. This is always is a license. License would going to decide this, what kind of functionality is going to be get accessible to a user, what a user can perform, what a user can perform. So let's consider we created a user who is holding a Salesforce license. Now this user could access all of the standard and all of the custom functionalities, right? Now let's move on. After that, we created a custom profile. We created a custom profile. That means below to this is something called as a profile. Below to this, something is called as a profile. Now, let's consider there are 5 users. All right, there are 5 users, maybe like user 1 to user 5. So there are, all right, let me try to open that diagram itself. I can explain you more from that. So I would go with the same what we have seen. Well, I was trying to introduce the profile. I make a use of this diagram, right? So at the top, there is what? There's license. There's a license at the top. Now there are these 5 users. Understand these? There are these 5 users. So we have given them the Salesforce license. All right. These are the 5 users to which we have given the Salesforce license. Now, when we have given a Salesforce license to them, this actually means they could access every standard and every custom functionalities. All right. Now, I wanted to put certain restrictions over here. I simply don't want that every one of them should get access to everything. And so as per the need of the business, as per what we have decided, we did one thing is like, we wanted user 1 and user 2 should only access the standard functionalities. User 3 and 4 should have the access to all of the custom, whereas user 5 should have the access to all of the standard and the custom. So what I did is like, I created 3 different custom profiles. I created 3 different custom profiles. So at the top, I should say, this is always a license. This is always a license which would provide you the functionalities. This is always the license which provides you the functionalities. Then if you wanted to put certain restrictions in everything, that is being controlled by creating what? By creating or by assigning them the profiles. At the top, it is always a license. At the top, it is always what? It's a license. Now, so profile, like for example, you created 3 different custom profiles. And all because of this, user 1 and 2, they are having the access to the standard functionalities only, like standard objects, standard applications and all. User 3 and 4 is only having the access to maybe like the custom functionalities, including your custom applications or maybe the custom fields, custom objects and such things like that. But now see, again, I wanted to put, this was like, I created a profile, I allotted this to user 1 and 2. Now see, understand one thing. From this point and onward, you will going to see this. I think I also have one diagram for this. Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. Let me try to open this. Let me try to open this one. Nope. Which is, oh, this one. All right. Now see. At the top, it was license, which I have given the functionalities to all users. Now we make control with the profiles. We make a control with the profiles, and we decided that There's one profile we created. By this profile, user 1 and 2 is having the access only to the standard functionalities, like they are having the access to the standard objects and the standard application. Whereas with the profile 2, user 3 and 4 is having the access only to the custom functionalities. Now see, I wanted to have a more control over here. I wanted to have a more control in a way, listen this very carefully, that I wanted that user 1 should only access sales, service, account, and contact. These are sales and service what? These are the standard applications. Account and contact is what? These are the standard objects, isn't it? Whereas user 2 should have the access to like marketing, case lead, and opportunity. Marketing is what? That's an application. Case lead and opportunities are what? These are the standard objects. In general, by giving them this profile, user 1 and user 2, both of them share the same profile. Both of them share the same profile. All right. User 1 and user 2, both of them share the same profile. So profile gives them ability that they should access all of this standard. So in general, user 1 and user 2, both of them could access sales, service, marketing, every standard application and every standard objects. But then I wanted to even have certain, I even wanted to have certain specialization into this. I wanted to have a more level of restriction, a more level of accessibility I wanted to give. But that isn't as possible with the profile. See, understand one thing. If I would try to do this, if I would try to do everything with the profiles, I'm having, for example, I'm having 5 users in my class. I'm having 5 users. For every one of them, if I would start constructing a separate profile for everybody, this would be something like, this would be something like for every user, if you start creating a separate profile, then it would be a very difficult thing to get managed. Why? Because in real time, we could have like more than 5,000, more than 10,000 users. Even if it is more than 100 users, let's not talk in terms of 1,000. Let's talk only in terms of 100. Let's say we are having 100 users. So for maintaining 100 different profiles would be a very difficult task. So what we do is like, we just try to combine the common functionalities into profile. And whenever we wanted to add a specialization, we built up that specialization. We put it under something called as a permission set. So what I'm going to do would be like, I first of all have created a profile. That profile would contain all general permissions, like all of the standard functionalities are being enabled onto this profile. All of the custom functionalities are being enabled onto this profile. Now, out of this context, for example, this is a profile which allows you to access all of the standard functionalities. If you wanted to have a more specialization out of this, you would require to create something called as a permission set. So I would rather create permission set. My first permission set would be this one, a permission set that would allow a user to access only these functionalities. There would be another permission set. There would be another permission which would allow the user to access only these functionalities. All right, there's a profile number 2 that allows the user to have an access to the custom functionalities. Now I would create, I would extend this. I'm not going to create separate profile. Rather, within this profile itself, I would be creating a permission set. Let's say for user 3, I'm having 2 custom application, Merck Incorporation and whatever the talent management, HR management software would be built up, right? Anyways. Or maybe we are having the custom objects, like manager, candidate, positions, hiring manager. I would separate this. See, if user 3 and 4, they are having this profile, this means this profile would allow them to access all of the custom functionalities, including custom applications and the objects. Both of them could access the same entities. But I wanted that user 3 should only have access to the Merck application and an object called as customer. Whereas user 4 should have an access to some another application, a custom application, of course, and few more custom objects. I'm going to create permission set for this. I would be going to create permissions. So it is basically is what, let me try to describe you. The first level of providing the accessibility is always decided with license. What kind of license you are holding? What kind of license you are holding? After that, you put a restriction. You can put up a restriction. You can make certain general group by using a profile. Now, after profile, if you certainly wanted to have something more, you wanted to put up in the same profile, you wanted to put up certain more conditions. That is done by creating permission sets. That is done by creating the permission sets. All right. So this is what is actually is a permission set. Now let me go back and tell you like how we can create permission sets and all. So I would go to, this is your account. All right. Let me first of all make a migration to the classic environment. Yeah, so pass 208 exactly. I'll go with the setup menu and I can go with manage users. I can go with the permission sets, right? I can go with the permission sets. Now, if I make a click over here, I'm going to see all of the permission sets which have been created by us. So these are some of the standard permission sets. All right, we haven't created anything so far. So obviously whatever is listed out over here seems to be the standard one, right? I would be creating a permission set. I don't have any use cases as such. I'm going to design anyone, but let me try to first of all show you like how we can create a permission set. Okay, let's consider that let me try to create something over here. I'll first solve it and then light it out. So I would be creating a permission set for development user. All right. So I'm giving the name as development user permission set. I would be creating something for development user. And before that, let me go and access his profile and let me allow everything first of all to him. Because see, understand one thing, even, all right, let me have this discussion. If something is not given by the license, you cannot enable it from the profile. All right. If, for example, license doesn't give you the accessibility to account object, you cannot get it from profile. It's not possible. I told you, whatever license would provide you, you can make a restriction with profile. Whatever profile give you, you can make a restriction with the permission set. But if something is not available, maybe in the license, maybe in the profile, you cannot have an access. I used to ask this question in the interview, and to my strange, people used to give me the wrong answer for this. I asked them, for example, if you are holding a platform license, manager user, customer user, and testing user, these three are holding the platform license. For them, we created this profile, isn't it? Now I would ask them, see, if you're holding a platform license, you cannot access like opportunity. You cannot access opportunity. What you can access? Account, contact, the document, task, event, and there might be few more objects. There might be, but definitely you cannot access opportunities, campaign, cases, price books, codes, so many objects. Like I asked them, so if you are holding a platform license, you cannot access opportunity. Can you do this with profiles? Can you do this with profiles? People used to say me, yes. Are kaisa yaar? Kaisa? If something is not being given to you from the license, you cannot have it from the profile. You cannot have it from the profile. ये कैसे ना, आप इसको ज्यादा कंफ्यूज, आपको ज्यादा कंफ्यूज होने की यहाँ पे जरूरत नहीं है। इतनी सुबह सुबह कौन मैसेज कर रहा है, वो भी इतने सारे, फैन फॉलोइंग बढ़ गई है। ठीक है, चलो। सो ये कैसा है? फॉर एग्जाम्पल, लाइसेंस इज दिस बॉक्स which have, for example, 100 things inside this. All right. Now, out of this, how many things you would be going to give to somebody? This is a box. This is another box. You put 25 things from this. You put like 75 things into this. So this is something which is a profile. But if there is, if for example, if this box itself doesn't have anything, how would you are going to decide कि वो मैं license में रख दूंगा, है ना? तो वो मैं प्रोफाइल में रख दूं, ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है? तो whatever the functionality, it should first of all should present inside the license. Then you can ask the profile. Out of that 25, now you can create small boxes to have 5, 3, something like that. So whatever profile would give you, you are going to get it. You can distribute it from the permission set. But ultimately, the functionality should be present in hierarchy. So that is what I usually ask. तो अक्सर इसके गलत ही आंसर मिलते हैं, but anyways, so I would be creating something for development user. Let me first of all go with his profile and try to give him everything. So 208 standard user was the profile we have given to him, because I have removed so many things from here, right? I would just try to give him access to everything. I would just try to give him access on everything. And this would enable every standard applications. This would enable every standard applications, and to the case I have make it hidden or default on. Let's migrate to the custom applications, custom objects, sorry. I'll give him all permissions over here. Right. That's it. Now this development user have the access to everything. Right. So let me try to control something from the permission set. All right. So you can select a license. See, understand whenever you are creating a permission set, what you can do would be like, this is an optional thing. If you would select a license from here, for example, if I would select a license called platform license, Salesforce platform. So what is going to be happen in that case? Whichever user holds this license, this permission set would going to be get applied to that. Like for example, अगर मैं इसकी बात करता हूँ, platform license we have given this to manager testing and customer. So if I would be selecting a license over here, so this permission set is going to be applied to all those users having this license. So we usually don't do this. In case if you wanted a permission set precisely for one user, then how you are going to select the license? Maybe there might be some other users as well, those who are holding the same license. So this all depends. If you are creating a general permission, you wanted that permission set to be applied to a group of users holding the same license, then you do this, otherwise not. I'll be saving this. Now, what do you want? I wanted this user should have the access. And let me try to control the accessibilities. So I would go with the app permissions. And I'll try to edit this. So this permission set. And these are administrative permissions. Manage cases, content, knowledge management, IP restriction. These are administrative permissions. I'll just not do anything over here. Let me try something with the object level. So I'll go with object settings. Object settings, and these are he can access everything over here. See, I'll do one thing. See what if you would see this table, how does it looks like to be for the account? Right now you don't seems to have the access. I mean, there's no object permissions you created. There are total 45 fields. All right. So this is what it would indicate. Let me just try to get some custom objects, maybe candidates I could try. So for this candidate object, this seems to be the same what you have decided for the profile, right? But for profile, whenever you create this all, it would get applied to a set of users. This I would be applying this only for the development. Let's consider we were having 5 Salesforce license. I have given this to 5 different users. So all of them are holding the same profile. They are getting whatever the profile level setting I did is get applied for every one of this. Now this permission especially I'm creating for one user, one of the user. I'm going to do this. I'm going to show how to apply that with this manage assignment. First of all, just let me create this set. So this object is an object called as candidate. I'll show you to this. I would make this, for example, see, if you remember what I did with over here, right? If you remember what I did, this is something which I did on the profile level. So in the profile level, for the candidate object, I make him available everything, right? All of the things are available for this is profile level. Now to override this, I'm creating a permission set. right? At the profile level, everything seems to be available, but this is available for everybody. Now, precisely for one user, I'm making like for this object candidate, he must have only read permission, nothing else. And this is field level. You can even control the fields as well. So he should not have the access to, or maybe I'm giving the access him. This is what I'm giving the access. All right. So location, because name is mandatory created by, these are mandatory field, contact number, email IDs, okay, passport number, PAN number. That's it. I'm giving, and rest of the things I'm not giving to him. All right. Even let me remove most of the things from here. So he would going to see only these fields which are getting to. All right. So see, profile, at the profile level, everything seems to be available for him. But now I am controlling this, and I'm creating a permission set wherein for this user, I'm going to assign this. I'm going to assign this. This user can when he go to the candidate object, he would only have read access. Although he would going to have the same profile level पे मैंने सारी चीजें दे रखी है, but that is going to be overridden with this permission set. You're going to see this difference. Now, once I did the changes, I'll just save it. Once I save this, I actually have created this permission. Now let me just go to the manage assignment. Like you created this permission set, but you haven't assigned this to anyone. So this is a permission set which has been created, but let me now assign this to the user. So I go with manage user, right? Manage assignment, sorry. So currently, as you can see, there's no assignments. I mean, the permission set what you have created is not being assigned to anybody. So just go with this add assignment button. Add assignment. Why this is not coming? Anyways, all right. So this is the list of all the users, like to whom you can assign, and you can make a selection from here as well. Oh, this is what I was expecting. So you can make a little selection. You can assign it to only active users, to the admin users, or all users, whatever, right? You feel you can find it from here. So if I would go with all users, you can see the list expands to a little bit more. Now I would assign this to the development user, right? I would assign this to the development user. Once this has been done, so there is no another button to save this. It is just you will require to assign it. And how would you go back? Yeah, there must be something over. Yeah, that's why. That's why. Actually, this is an Aura component. So sometimes, the form factor doesn't source to doesn't matches with the existing browser. So that is where you just have to zoom out the window. You can by control and scroll back, you can do this. Otherwise, you can make a use of these buttons, like you can make a use of these buttons like also. So once you make the changes, I mean, I have applied this, I have assigned this to the user development, and let me now go with next button. And user development, the roles and everything, it's inactive. This is, it was saying, and assign. All right, so it was showing to now that one assignment was being successful, right? Now user development has this permission set. So if you go with like manage users, and you would go with the permission sets, so you're going to see that we created a permission called development, or created a permission called development user permission set. Now things related to over here. This was the permission set. One second now. Does it show anything onto this page? No, I haven't given any description and licenses, so that's the reason it's not indicating anything. Chalo. So let's go to that user. See, at the profile level, everything seems to be enabled for him. All right. Now I would go to development user. I'll make a login. I'll go with the candidate object. I'll try to do this name. See what he can access. Candidate. What I have given him, I've just given him a read permission. How come he could access all this? Refresh. If I were to go to let me just go back and see to the permission set what I have removed. He must don't have the access to all those things. All right, I'm giving you this command. Yeah, who is this? Sunil. Yeah, Sunil, tell me. I just wanted to know what are the things that I haven't included.
The read only access only.
That's the reason.
Location, email ID, and contact number.
Email ID and contact number I have
Location.
removed. But location is also over here. I'm getting confused between the things what I have given to him and what I have removed from him. Like, let me just go to that once again. He's only having read access. Current CTC and due dates, they should not appear. Current CTC is also appearing. It is happening. Why it is happening? Sometimes, sometimes Salesforce behaves very erratically and you literally doesn't get why this is happening. Position applied. Passport number also is something he shouldn't see to this, but that's appearing. My God, why this is happening? Did I miss something? Did I miss something? So I go to manage assignments. Mm-hmm. Everything seems to be in proper place. Let me try to make certain changes over here once again. Logged in as development user. Mm, mm, mm. Uh, there's something which I'm making mistake. Obviously, it's my mistake. What is that? Let me try this with some another object. If I would go to, let's say, I go with position. If I would go with positions, I'll edit the properties over here. Mm. Let's now see to this. All right, so once again, I'll just try to go back and so I'm going to make a login to development user once again. Let's go with the position object. Why at all is, let me see to this, guys. Why this is not working? I don't know. I have not given them create permission, still they are able to create it. Why this is happening? I'll check it out. Let me check it out first, and then I'll come back onto this. Strange, very strange. Anyways, I'll see to this by today only, and by tomorrow when we come back, I must have. I'm trying to have a solution with this. Right. Let's see. Let's see why this is not happening. Ideally, it should work. Anyways, chalo. Time is to wind up. You have any questions? Yes, any questions? All right. I'll see to this why this is not working properly. I mean, ideally it should work. I'll come back with this. Thank you so much for joining.